Okay, so we're going to do a breath third eye meditation. So I'm going to teach you guys start integrating stuff, okay? So it's kind of weird, but we're going to do it. Okay. So sit up straight. Your back should be straight. Okay, good. Okay. Then I want y'all to close your eyes. So we're going to ring the bell to signal the start of the practice and end of the practice, okay? So close your eyes. I'll teach you guys what the practice is. Go ahead and blow your nose if you need to. And then start by noticing the temperature of your breath. You can lie down on your back. Notice the temperature of your breath. How is the temperature from inhalation different from exhalation? And now, where do you feel that coldness? Where in your nose? Do you feel at the tip of your nose, in the middle of your nose, towards the top of your nose, in the back of your throat? Check each area. Put your full attention on the tip of your nose, and then the middle of your nose, and then the top of your nose, the bridge of your nose, with 3 separate breaths. So with the first breath, tip of the nose. Second breath, middle of the nose. Third breath, top of the nose. And now focus on the back of your throat. Can you feel the coolness there? Focus on the bottom of your throat. Your chest. Your belly. And now focus on your eyebrow center. Try to feel the cool air as it enters your nose and travels up to your eyebrow center, your forehead. Push that air up into that area, or pull it towards the eyebrow center, and put your attention there. With each breath, feel the coolness travel up. With each exhalation, feel the warmth leave. Try the eyebrow center for 5 breaths. If you guys are having trouble with that part, no problem. Just follow the breath where it goes. Now we'll practice for about 1 minute. Follow the coolness of the breath, feel it warm, and let it out. See how far the breath will go. If it goes to the eyebrow center, fantastic. If it doesn't, no problem. If it goes to your throat, your chest, perfectly fine. So go ahead and come back. Oh. Thank you for the subs, Fluid Soul. And thank you for the donations, guys. Okay. Okay, so we're going to talk about porn addiction at some point. Okay. Good. I just saw a question. So I'm just watching chat and I'm seeing, so it sounds like some of y'all are doing something productive. So that's great. Sorry, my mind is a little bit blank, so I'm having trouble keeping up with what's happening. Okay. just try to recalibrate. Okay, so let's talk about meditation for a second. Sorry about the porn addiction comment. Someone was like, I've been getting a lot of questions recently about porn addiction. So let's talk about this. So, number one, just feel what you're feeling. Oh, crap, I can't. I'm watching some of my streams with Rectful last time you released it. God, thinking. Okay, yeah. So, Derpy David was saying that he's been watching the stream and Rectful, and it hits close to home. It's been helpful. Fantastic. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. Let's talk about meditation for a second. Blurry. Stop being blurry. Okay. So, remember, the goal of when you meditate, I offer certain directions that you can go in, but you don't have to necessarily go in those directions. So for some people, I'm trying to accelerate things by suggesting things. And if you feel something, great. If you don't feel something, that's okay too. We're going to find a technique for you at some point. We're going to find techniques for everyone. That's the goal. The next thing is I have homework for y'all. So if you guys like this technique, which is essentially noticing where within your body the temperature of the breath goes, that's the summation of the technique. Feel the temperature, feel where it goes. I know it's out of focus. I don't know what to do about this thing. There we go. Is that better? Okay. Nope. It's like it's only in focus over here for some reason. Okay. All right. So now what I want you guys to do in terms of homework is do this practice and see where within your body, do this practice for a week, see where within your body that you can feel the temperature change. Okay? And then I'm going to ask you guys some questions about it because some of it could be weird. Do it every day. Every day for 1 week. Do it for 5 minutes. See where the temperature goes. So the way that you do that is you pick a spot, you may have felt it initially just at the tip of your nose. So you feel where you feel it, and then you move a little bit further, move a little bit further, move a little bit lower, move a little bit lower, move a little bit lower, move a little bit lower. And then you sense, right? So you put the attention of your mind on a particular spot and you see what you can feel there. And then don't let your mind get in the way. If LS is watching, LS should really do this technique and not let his mind get in the way, because we're going to teach LS how to step outside of his mind. And if his mind gets in the way, he'll fail. If he doesn't let his mind get in the way, he will succeed. And if he succeeds, we will know based on his answer. And if he fails, we will see based on his answer. Hold on, I was feeling the coldness near my eyebrow, but I stopped and wanted to do it, and my focus swayed back. Crap, I can't read all that. Okay. All right. Back and forth during the middle of it, and the coldness went down the back to the middle of my nose instead. Yeah, so that's great. Whatever happened is fine. Just keep doing it. Okay? Just keep doing it. Yeah, and so also, you guys, I don't know, y'all should check out LS's stream. Apparently he's really good at solo queue and coaches people. And yeah, so closing thoughts, questions. Let me just check our question log real quick and see if there's anything that... Okay, so here's a question. Is it possible to grow up without a dharma? The answer is absolutely yes. Most people grow up without a dharma. So you have a dharma growing up to usually be a student or be a child or something like that. So I think the first stage of your life, the first 25 years of your life should be spent primarily on learning. That doesn't mean that you're a formal student. It doesn't mean that you don't have a job. It means that you should be learning about yourself. So I think in a weird way, if you are coming and watching this stream, that is actually fulfilling your dharma because you're learning about yourself. That's why it feels good. A lot of you guys think about this for a second. People stay up till 5 a.m. to watch the stream. Why is that? That sucks. It's because you're doing it for your dharma. Right? So you're doing it to better yourself. You're doing it to become the person that you need to be, which is great because that's your dharma right now. So that's awesome. Okay. Where do you start if you're depressed but you have no reason for it? Nothing went wrong in your life. How do you address that? Beautiful. That's dharma. Okay? So from a clinical perspective, sometimes people have a biological depression, which means what I mean by that is that they don't have any triggering event. They just have some neurochemistry thing where they're like, their life is fantastic. And they start to get depressed for no reason whatsoever. So that happens. That's true major depressive disorder. Has to do with a chemical imbalance, maybe has to do with low thyroid hormone, as someone mentioned. You should go see a doctor if that happened to you. But there is a difference between clinical depression and unhappiness. And if everything is going well in your life and you still feel sad and it's not episodic and you're just unhappy because you feel, even though you're checking all the boxes, you feel empty on the inside, that is a lack of dharma. Doesn't mean that you can't be diagnosed with depression. Doesn't mean that you shouldn't. You should probably just get evaluated for depression by a clinician. But it also means that there's a difference between depression and unhappiness. And if you're unhappy, if you're feeling unfulfilled, finding your dharma is going to do it for you. So it doesn't always mean that depression comes from something traumatic or something like that. That's not always the case. Okay. This is great. I feel like my dharma is to create something, but I don't know what it is yet. What do I do to start looking for something specific? Beautiful. Great question. So, you guys know, like, in, like, hero stories and, like, RPGs and stuff, like, people train really hard, and then the final boss, like, then the catastrophe sort of happens, like you can think about Harry Potter or something, right? They're, like, learning how to be wizards, and then, then Voldemort shows up. There's the training arc, yeah. So what you guys need to understand is some of y'all may be in your training arc, and that's what you should do. So I'll give you guys a very, like, simple example from my own life. So one day, when I decided I was going to become a psychiatrist, the first thing that actually happened was panic. Because I realized that, like, as medical school was ending, like, I wouldn't get trained anymore in, like, real medicine. I was going to be, like, talking to people about their feelings. I wasn't going to know how to fix heart attacks. Like, I was, like, you deal with heart attacks and stuff, strokes, pneumonias, things like that, like rashes. Like, how do you know if something is skin cancer or just a rash? Like, all this kind of stuff. So I started to get really, really scared because after 6 months of intern year, like, I wasn't going to be dealing with anything physical anymore. That was it. Like, I was going to get 6 months of training in internal medicine and dealing with diabetes and MIs and all that kind of stuff. And then I was done. Like, that was it. And then I had this thought, and this actually happened to me, and I told this story, that, one day I'm going to be on an airplane, and they're gonna like the air hostess or whatever is going to say, is there a doctor on board? We have a medical emergency. And then in that moment, I was going to have to decide, like, am I going to hit the call button and, like, be the doctor? And then I got scared because I was like, what if, like, a decade from now, I haven't, like, the last time I saw someone who was physically ill was, like, a decade ago. And they're like, is there a doctor on the plane? Like, do I even count? Like, do I hit the call button or do I not hit the call button? So then I realized that I have 6 months to learn as much as I humanly can about physical medicine. Because after that, it's like 40 years of, like, not knowing shit about anything physical. So I studied my ass off. And I spent a lot of time at the hospital, and I tried to, like, really learn as much as I could, because that's my training arc, and then the final boss is going to show up, and then it's, like, game time. So if you don't know what your dharma is, and if you feel like you should create something, I work with a lot of people individually who have that exact same feeling. These are people who are in private equity firms, or, like, working in companies, or, like, investment bankers, or physicians, who feel like they're supposed to do something greater than, like, what they're doing day to day. And so what I tell you is that that day will come. That should not comfort you. That should terrify you. And the question is, are you going to be ready? You're going to get your opportunity, because if that's your karma, it's going to happen. And then you're either going to be able to do it or you're not going to be able to do it. So I'll give you guys another very simple example. I show up on stream here 3 times a week. Never met the person. Don't know who this person is. Don't know what's going on with them. Right? And, like, I'm supposed to help that person. Like, what on earth can I possibly know that is going to help some random person from the internet? Like, I have no idea. Right? There are 3,000 people watching right now. And like, I have to do something that satisfies or helps 3,000 people plus the person that I'm talking to. I have no idea like what that's going to look like. I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I have no idea. Like, I have no idea. There's a little part of me that's terrified every time I come on stream because how am I going to help this person? I don't know. But it works because before that, I realized at some points in my life, someone is going to show up and I'm going to have to help them. So whenever I read a book, whenever I meditate myself, whenever I like study things, whenever I read things, like today I read like a psychoanalyst doing an AMA on Reddit and like paid attention to what he was saying and thought about it. So like as you go through life, you recognize that you're preparing yourself for that thing when it's going to come. You don't know what it is. It could be, you may have to pull someone out of a car that has been like crashed, and you may need the physical strength to like open a piece of metal that has been wedged, and whether you do it or not depends on your physical like ability, which means you have to get in shape because otherwise that person could die. It may be like creating a product or saving the world through like climate change or inventing a new solar panel. It may be helping an individual person. It may be creating a video game that keeps someone from killing themselves because they're depressed. And at least there's some game that gives people a sense of community. Like, I have no idea what it is. But you guys should be terrified. You should be terrified. And if you don't know what your dharma is, prepare. Prepare in every way possible. It doesn't matter what your dharma is, you're going to need to be in good physical shape. Because ultimately, your capacity to your dharma depends on your physical capability. So treat your body well and treat your mind well. Because whether you rise to the challenge depends on, like, what you are, right? Study what you can about yourself. If you have a general direction, like if you feel like you want to write a book, then like learn about writing. If you feel like you want to create an app and that's what interests you, then like take courses online, like check out Khan Academy or like do Google certifications on analytics. Like I don't care what it is. Just study and learn and prepare for that day that you are going to need to do the thing. If you think you missed your chance, you're wrong. You missed a chance. That's part of your karma. The missed chance is the thing that teaches you, hey man, this is legit. So you better get your ass ready for the next one. There is no such thing as a missed chance. A missed chance doesn't mean that you're not going to have more chances in the future. Like, I want you guys to understand this very clearly. If you think that you missed the boat, you didn't miss the boat. Like, if I'm working in the emergency room and someone comes in and I don't recognize they have a heart attack and they die, that doesn't mean that someone else isn't going to come in an hour from now. Missing the boat is not like a one-time thing. Dharma calls again and again and again and again and again, and you can fail again and again and again and again and again. So time to get your ass into gear. Prepare, prepare, prepare. Miss the Fortnite bus. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys realize this, but like Fortnite is not going to be the biggest game for the history of humanity. Even in your lifetimes, like maybe even in a year or two, there's going to be another game that's going to be bigger than Fortnite. You missed the Fortnite bus? Oh my god. That's the last game. Esports is over now. You missed your chance to be a streamer. And it's done. Like, it's almost like you guys are saying like, okay, I missed my chance to be like a Fortnite streamer. Like, imagine a world where on Twitch, people became successful streamers doing things besides playing video games. Like talking to people about their feelings. So prepare yourself. You have no idea what the world will demand of you. You have no idea. Prepare.